All right, welcome back. This is going to be part 66 of my presentation on the flood and Noah's Ark. And in this one here, guys, we're going to visit a location that I have still yet to visit. And that is the Creation Museum of Ken Ham's Creation Museum. And we're not going to go inside, but we're going to go on the outside. And the location where this place is built is quite unique. And so, believe it or not, I have yet to go visit the Ark and the Creation Museum. I know when I get up there and see that, I'm going to get all excited and want to sell my home and move up there. And so, believe it or not, for some of you guys that have like RVs and are able to just rent a place in that general area, they do have seasonal workers that they will hire and during their busy time of the tourist season. And so you might want to check them out, but they're always needing people. And so, but let's go ahead and let's get started. If you notice on the screen here, this came from an article entitled Built on a Fossil Graveyard. Built on a Fossil Graveyard. And if you'll notice, just go over to the right of the map there, and right above Kentucky there, right there where you got Indiana and Ohio, there's a red dot. That little red dot here, that's where we're going at. And this is where we're headed to, the Creation Museum, Ken Ham's Creation Museum. And there's the address there of it. And what we're going to be looking at is the land. What is outside of this land here? And it's absolutely just an amazing article that they have there. Now, I actually got this information from a 2011 article from the Answers magazine, volume 6, number 3, July, September. And the article was entitled Built on a Fossil Graveyard, pages 51 through 53. So if any of you guys want to check that article out. And but this is what they have here. They've got broken pieces of stems called columels, ripped apart shells, and piles buried in limestone. And these brachiopods is what they're talking about. And the bryozoans, piles of broken stems and branches. And so if you'll notice at the location on there, they kind of highlighted it for you, what exactly that you're looking at. So they got the actual picture there, and then they got the illustration of what they are, right beside of them. Let's take a look at some notes on the area. It's 500 miles from the nearest ocean. 500 miles, guys. That's key. Secular fossil investigators believe these creatures were deposited under storm-dominated conditions as if they were repeatedly battered by hurricanes and severe storms. It is believed by secular authorities. Now, guys, when you hear me say secular, for some of you that may be seeing this for the first time, secular means that there's no religious affiliation. So that's the reason why I will definitely use secular if it did not come from a religious source or a Christian source or creation source, because I want you guys to know that this is what even the evolutionists are seeing. So anyway, it says it is believed by secular authorities that the ocean had advanced over the North American continent from the northeast, burying this region underwater. Now, let's go back to that map again, just for the heck of it. Now, look at that red dot. Look how far inland that is. That's quite amazing. Now, going on, they said some sort of catastrophe destroyed the shallow sea communities where trillions and trillions of trilobites, and we're going to look at trilobites here in just a minute, and other strange sea creatures once lived. Their fossilized body parts are now found in exposed rocks all along Cincinnati's highways. And so now, this is what a trilobite looked like. This is what trilobites look like. Let's look at some notes on trilobites. It's an arthropod. Now, an arthropod is an animal with a hard outer skeleton and a jointed body, and limbs. It includes insects like ants, beetles, and butterflies, crustaceans such as lobsters, shrimps, and crabs, and arachnids like scorpions, spiders, and ticks. Arthropods do not have internal skeletons, but an exoskeleton where the skeleton is on the outside. Going on. Trilobites, some 2,000 species, are found in California, Utah, Nevada, Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, Illinois, Ohio, Indiana, New York, Wisconsin, the Burgess Shale, Mississippi, Canada, British Columbia, Newfoundland, Ontario, Wales, Italy, Bohemia, Sweden, Scotland, Germany, England, Bolivia, Morocco, and many other countries. And so if you want to look at in those states itself, you can see just how much it took the water to cover, these areas to get these animals at these locations. Now, going on, it says varied in size from a ½ inch to nearly 2 feet in length. Trilobites had dozens to hundreds of lenses in each eye called compound eyes. These eyes were capable of eliminating image distortion and could see better in low light at the bottom of the ocean where they lived. Some eyes allowed the trilobite to have three-dimensional vision in a full arc above the trilobite. Now listen, guys, where were they living? In the bottom of an ocean. And I just gave you all of the areas that they were found. So you guys can kind of put two and two together here where I'm getting at. Now, compound eyes, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about compound eyes. We're talking about bunches and bunches and bunches of eyes. And so you got a fly, that's the compound eyes on a fly. And then the trilobite, you can see the compound eyes on a trilobite. So we're not talking about a simple animal. We're talking about an animal that is extremely complex. And remember that word complex here as we move forward. Now, when we talk about lenses and stuff like that, the lenses of the trilobite's eyes. Now, if you'll notice, God's creation is there on the right-hand side. You got the trilobite's eyes, the two different types of trilobite's eyes there. And then you got man's discovery to help with spherical aberration. Now, look at that, guys. Now, man, it took man to make that. That is what was created by man to help with vision. And guess what? This animal that supposedly is quote unquote simple by uniformitarian belief is on the right-hand side. And so God already created it a long time ago, and I'm about to show you how long that was. Now, if you look at this geologic time scale, the fossils in Cincinnati region were labeled as Ordovician period, which was 450 to 500 million years ago. Now listen, guys, all the way at the Precambrian, you're talking about the simple animals, and then this geologic time scale, this is the theory. This is just a theory. The only place you're ever going to see it is right here in front of your eyes. And but supposedly you got animals that are slowly advancing as the geologic time scale moves upward. But we've already seen just how advanced and complex these trilobites were. Now, the trilobite that was existing is in this 250 to 570 million years ago. Is a 250 to 570 million years ago. So this is the area where the trilobites were existing. Again, this is the geologic time scale, the uniformitarian, the evolutionist geologic time scale, which is all complete theory, nothing but theory. Now, going on, there is a general pattern to the fossil content, consistent with the order that the creatures were likely buried. First, smaller creatures that were attached to the seafloor followed by larger and more mobile creatures. That's common sense. And the ones that are going to be at the bottom that are attached there, those are going to be buried first. So the sorting of the flood waters is going to be what it is going to sort these animals and materials like plants and other things, organic matter and even sediments, by their mass, what their mass is, and not only that, by also where they're living to begin with. So these animals at the very bottom of the seafloor, or at the bottoms of the water, are the other ones that's going to be buried first. Those are the ones that's going to be buried first. And so now, again, and these now when we're talking about the planet, we're talking about the earth. You cannot. There's one thing you have to remember, is that you cannot look at the pre-flood world as it looks now, like United States of America, and then you got Africa and stuff like that. This is not what the planet looked like, and we went through that much earlier in this presentation. I went through that, and so if you want to go through my previous videos, you'll eventually run across it. If I tell you what I'll do is as I'm editing the video, I will put links to the Pangea and what they believe the pre-flood continent might have looked like. And so I will put that. Now it was, if I remember correctly, there was several videos to that. So what I'll do is I'll just put the first video to that, and you can watch those videos and gain you some knowledge about that. But you cannot look at this world now, and to what we have in our continents, and say this is what the continents were, what they looked like before the flood. It was different. It was much different. And the Bible even talks about that, how like the world that then was completely was destroyed, was completely eradicated. And so the way it is today is not the way it looked like before the flood. Completely different. Now, lastly, exquisite preservation. Now, it says here, a multinational team of scientists has excavated a treasure trove of stunning three-dimensional trilobite fossils from the Telt Formation, a volcanic ash deposit in Morocco. Their paper was the cover article in the leading journal Science, perhaps the best preserved trilobites ever found. The researchers were in awe at the exquisite details of body segments and legs, including hair-like structures and spines. Some specimens revealed a labrum, a fleshy lobe covering the mouth, seen for the first time. Even the digestive tract was preserved by an infilling of ash. Lead author, and that's that gentleman right there, I'm not going to mess up his name, he's a geology professor from the University of Poitiers, did not hide his excitement. This is his quote: "As a scientist who has worked on fossils from different ages and locations, discovering fossils in such remarkable state of preservation within a volcanic setting was a profoundly exhilarating experience for me." One of his co-authors was equally enthusiastic. Gregory Edgecombe, a paleontologist at London's Natural History Museum, commented, this is his quote, "I've been studying trilobites for nearly 40 years, but never felt like I was looking at live animals as much as I have with these ones. I've seen a lot of soft anatomy of trilobites, but it's the three-dimensional preservation here that is truly astounding. An unexpected outcome of our work is discovering that volcanic ash in shallow marine settings could have a bonanza for exceptional fossil preservation." Okay, and it goes on. Researchers have even found tiny 1 millimeter brachiopods, and those are mollusks with upper and lower shells adhering to the trilobites heads as they would have done in life, suggesting that the two species died together, either buried alive or not long after death. A combination of hot mineral-laden fine ash and water would have acted like a natural cement to preserve the finest details. And so we're going to stop right there. But again, even where this location of the Creation Museum is a testament to the worldwide flood, the historical biblical worldwide flood mentioned in the book of Genesis. And so I think that was quite incredible, and I had to have it in this presentation. But you guys take care, and I hope the Lord blesses you real good. Y'all have a great night. Bye-bye.